once again to Harris Infants National Academy, and if you've been following our previous lecture, we'll know that we just concluded talking about viruses, and today we're going to be talking about algae. And your Jupeb syllabus requires to talk about some varieties of things under algae, such as the sizes of algae, their types. We need to talk about the diatoms, the seaweed, and the lichen. So now we need to know what are the sizes of algae. Basically, we first need to know that algae are classified based on their color, meaning their pigmentation. They are classified, they have 7 major subclasses, but then we are focusing on like 3 major, which is the common one Jupeb normally focuses on. And they are classified based on their biotechnological features and their color pigmentation. And the sizes of algae ranges from 0.5 micrometer to 200 micrometer. Something you really need to take note of. Just like we discovered in viruses, that viruses are measured in nanometer. Now you know that algae are measured in micrometer. And now your syllabus requires us to talk about the types of algae. The type of algae. When you want to talk about the type of algae, there are 3 major types of algae we need to focus on. And these 3 major types, they are all under the seaweeds. What are seaweeds? Seaweeds are basically macro algae. They are big, large algae. That's what seaweeds are. And now we have the green algae. We have the green algae. The green algae. This green algae, their pigmentation is chlorophyll, and they have different type of chlorophyll. We have chlorophyll A, we have chlorophyll B. So the green algae, they also call them chlorophyta. They also refer to them as the chlorophytas. So the green algae are your chlorophytas, and that's where you have the like of your chlamydomonas, your volvox. You have the like of your ova, which is your sea lettuce. So your chlorophytas, your ovas are the sea lettuce. So your chlorophytas are your green algae, and their pigmentation from the word chlorophyta, you know they have chlorophyll, and then their pigmentation is either your chlorophyll A or thereabout. Then we have some major examples of this green algae. We have the chlamydomonas, the chlamydomonas. We have your ova, which can also call your sea lettuce. You have your volvox. So these are some major examples you need to take note of when you're talking about your chlorophytas. So your chlorophytas are your green algae, and then you have another one, we call them brown algae. These brown algae, they are also referred to as your phyophytas. Your brown algae are the phyophytas. These are your phyophytas. And there are some various examples you need to take note of here under this your brown algae. You have your fucus, you have your laminaria, you have your sargassum, you have your sargassum. So these are some major examples you need to take note of under your brown algae. Then the other type of algae we'll be talking about is your red algae. They call them radiophytas. Your red algae. They are referred to as your radiophytas. And now some examples of this your red algae. You have your gelidium. These are the major examples that you experience in your Jupeb. You have your gelidium, you have your polycyphoria, you have your gracilaria. These are the major examples you experience whenever you come across any Jupeb question that have to do with algae. And also you need to take note of this other algae. They call them the blue-green algae, which are your cyanobacteria. The blue-green algae. And the most common example you come across whenever they are talking about blue-green algae are your oscillaria, your nostoc, and your anabena. So whenever you want to talk about your cyanobacteria, which are your blue-green algae, your cyanobacteria, like I said, they are referred to as your blue-green algae. You talk about the likes of your nostoc. Talk about the like of the anabena, and you also talk about the like of your oscillaria. This particular one came out at a particular year in Jupeb, and many students didn't know that oscillatoria is an example of a blue-green algae, which is your cyanobacteria. And now your syllabus wants us to talk about your seaweeds. Like I said, your seaweeds are divided like I said, your seaweeds are divided into your phytophytes, your brown algae, which are the phytophytes, your red algae, and your green algae. What did I say seaweeds are? Seaweeds are basically algae. They are just macro algae. And now there are examples you need to take notes of, which are the major ones I've given you here. These are the ones that Jupeb will always leverage on. Now that's what your Jupeb wants us to talk about. And now your Jupeb wants us to talk about lichen. So when talking about lichen, what your Jupeb need you to know about lichen is that lichen is not an algae. Very important. Lichen is not an algae. When you talk about lichen is a symbiotic relationship between an algae and a fungi. When the fungi, or you can call them fungus, where the fungus provides protection and then the algae provides photosynthesis and nutrients for the fungi. And now that's what you need to know about. Then your diatoms, they are also under the chrysophytes. Yes, there are also algae under the chrysophytes, and that's what they need you to know about algae. So now, in conclusion, what we've said today, your algae, the three major types. We have the green algae, the brown algae, the red algae. It's not enough for you to know that there are green algae, brown algae, and red algae. You need to know their other names, because Jupeb is not an O-level exam, it's an A-level exam. They might not give you the common name, they might give you the unusual names. These are this extra name you need to know. Then it's not also important, it's not also enough for you to know that they have other names. You also need to know their examples, and I just said some major examples that your Jupeb will always leverage on. And now I told you what seaweeds are, because they can ask you what is a seaweed. A, fungi. B, bacteria. C, algae. You'll be wondering, like I just said, seaweeds are algae. Don't confuse seaweed for sea animals and sea pens. Those ones are different. Those are under your phylum Nidarians, or you call them Coelentratus. That's a different concept entirely. Your seaweeds are algae. They are just macro algae. And I told you there are three major seaweeds examples that you need to know, which are this red, brown, and green algae. And I told you about your cyanobacteria, also referred to as the blue-green algae. And the three major examples that your Jupeb exam will always leverage on: your nostoc, your anabena, and your oscillatoria. And I told you about your diatoms and then lichen. So this is all your Jupeb syllabus wants you to leverage on and know about in algae. Please kindly like and subscribe to our channel to get notified whenever we drop a new video. We're expecting to see you in the next video. Have a nice day.